What's going on, guys? My name is Jake and you're watching Meat Sauce. Today I'm going to be reviewing these. These are the Astro A10s and they are a budget headset for gaming. Now I'm going to try and make this a pretty quick review and maybe offer some advice on whether or not you should buy these things. Let's get into what I like about them first.
Number 1.
They're cheap. Quite considerably cheap actually, especially for a gaming headset. These normally retail for around about 99 Australian dollars. Now I managed to pick these up from Harvey Norman at $86 on special, which is something that's probably good to know because if you ever go to buy these, good chance you can get that price down towards the $85 range if you just ask.
The second thing
is the volume that these things reach. They go up to something like 104 decibels, which is loud as in fact, it's actually probably a little bit too loud. I never actually have it pumped all the way up. You might want to, but to me, it was just, that was screaming at that point. I didn't necessarily need it to be that loud. So good to know that it can hit that volume anyway, especially considering it's an AUX driven headset and doesn't operate off batteries whatsoever. So I was actually pretty surprised it could get that loud.
And the third.
The old flippy microphone. I could have quite easily settled for just a standard in-ear headset. I could have picked one up for 20 bucks or something like that, and it would have had inline headphones, which would have worked perfectly fine with my Xbox controller. However, it doesn't always have the best audio quality when you've got a little microphone sitting down by your neck. It's normally a better listening experience for everyone else, and plus, these ones include flip to mute. So if you don't feel like talking to anybody, or you feel like you look a little bit strange like this, flip that sucker up and it's muted. Really good feature. Now, as for the microphone quality, I've been told by other people that have been in my party that the quality of the voice coming through is perfectly fine. Generally, when you're playing online, your voice is being downsampled anyway, so you don't need a super great microphone. This one does perfectly fine.
Number 4.
Would definitely have to be the quality of sound. Now, I spoke about how loud they go before, whereas this time, the actual sound being driven into your ears and the clarity is really pretty decent. I mean, there is far better things out there for a lot more money, but for the price that you're paying for these things, it is perfectly fine. It's probably more on the higher range rather than the low range, so you're hearing a lot of more, you know what I'm talking about. It's not bassy, so when you hear an explosion, it's not as quite as head rumbling as what maybe a higher end headset might be. But things like footsteps in the distance and gunshots in the distance, it really does enhance those sounds and can be quite handy in my experience.
Number
5.
The fifth and final thing that I like about these headphones is it has a detachable AUX cable. That is handy because if this ever breaks, you can get a new one. Finding another one with inline controls might be a little bit difficult, but it should still work with an AUX cable nonetheless. It'll just be full volume, I guess. You'll have to use the in-game controls, but at least you can swap it. It's a sustainability option and I like that shit. And that's about it for the positives. Let us get into the negatives.
Number 1.
The first thing that is downfall of this headset is the build quality. Now, overall, it's just made of plastic. There's nothing really hard or rigid about these things. But when I'm talking about the build quality, I'm talking about these soft ear cups. They are comfortable, but they are made out of a cheap ass material. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of microfiber cloth. To be honest, it doesn't feel like there'd be a lot that would be needed to tear or rip these. It's one of those things, if you look after them, they'll probably last. Also, being a fact that it is a cloth material, your head tends to get a little bit sweaty during a bit of a gunfight. It's just going to absorb the whole lot, so this probably isn't a headset that you're going to want to share with other people. That's my advice anyway. Maybe just keep this one to yourself. And that even includes this little headband up top here. Again, it's a welcome addition to the headset, but it's cheap and nasty. Just be careful when you're using this thing. But yeah, That's all I really have to say about this headset. For the price, it's pretty damn decent. Should you buy it? If you don't have a whole lot of cash on you, if you only have like a few bucks to spare, just get a normal in-ear headset. It will do the job and it's perfectly fine. If you've got around $100 and this is all your retailer has, definitely get it. It's a good option. You're not going to be disappointed. Everyone that's listening to you is going to have a good time. You're listening to it, you're going to have a good time. No dramas. If you happen to have an extra $50 or $100 laying around, probably get a better headset. You'll get more bass and you'll get higher quality materials, but you get what you pay for. So at the end of the day, what you get here is a pretty decent price. It's comfortable. It's got replacement options, cable and all that kind of. It's not too bad. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope that may have helped you, and if it didn't, oh well. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.